Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Come on down and get your geeked up, geeked at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi Center.
All right, now the little light is on. Happy Thursday, if there is such a thing. No real topic tonight. Tonight is just a Midnight Express open topic. If I do stream this weekend, because I don't know, my schedule's kind of wacky because of the holidays, I have some topics. One of them, primarily, we're going to discuss the most anticipated movies of 2025. I'll let you know right now. My most anticipated one is going to be Fantastic Four. I mean, that's I've been saying that. That's no secret. But there are some fill-in ones that I will be. And believe it or not, I was looking at my list today. I am looking forward to Superman, but I just realized it's like number 7 or 8 on my list, possibly. Because there's a couple other movies out there that I forgot that were coming out this year that I'm really interested in, more so than that. But my priority movie of not only July of 2025, but of 2025 in general, is a movie I've been waiting a really, really long time to see. And that is the MCU version of Fantastic Four. So, but we'll go over that list. We'll either do it over the next few days. I might stream tomorrow. We're not doing any watch alongs this weekend because the schedule just does not allow for it. But I definitely, for sure, the one show I am sure that we're going to do is going to be the Sunday overnight live, or the Sunday night live stream. So if I don't get a chance to do a stream on Saturday of some sort, then we'll probably backload Sunday night. But that is one topic we'll definitely be covering this week. But like I said, you guys can bring yours. My only rules: science fiction, fantasy, horror, or comic book movie. Don't come to the party with human interest shit. Don't come to the party with rom-coms and kiddie stuff. Science fiction, horror, fantasy, comic books. Those are the rules. That's what my list is going to be limited to, and that's the theme of the show. So yeah. So I will probably get your list ready, and like I said, it's either going to be tomorrow or Sunday. Saturday is going to be kind of wacky because I got a full day. Plus, I'll be up all night watching Wrestle Kingdom 19. That's my annual thing that I do. And it's in Tokyo, so it's a big time difference. So I'm gonna be dead tired. So, hey, look who showed. Hey, Brad, what's going on? Got the woodpecker going already.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have a woodpecker emoji Is there a woodpecker? Hold on. That'd be cool if there's a woodpecker. So I just hit it every time we start talking. Clint's got his duck. Hello, Music Man. Happy New Year. Yes, I was with you guys for the New Year. Smashing my face into the wall, Joker style. Okay, don't do that. I don't want anybody to be in any pain.
A little violent, man.
Yeah, and plus walls are expensive. 2 tickets, so you're doubling up on the play. Okay. Let's see. What do I think of Justice? You're not new, are you? You're not new to the show, are you? Okay, I hate it. I cannot stand Justice League International. I don't like the heroes that they use in Justice League. I don't like the tone of Justice League. And when I was a kid, and they first were, because you found out about new comics coming out on the the ads on the back of the comics. That's the way we did it back in that day. And I was a big fan of Justice League. I mean, grew up with a big fan of Justice League. And Justice League International just sounded like a cooler version of Justice League America. I'm like, okay, it was not. Plus, I had been reading Legion of Superheroes for a couple of years by that time. So when you tell me that Keith Giffen is working on something, and after I'm watching his run on Legion of Superheroes, I'm thinking it's something completely different. I didn't know he had a bad book in him. He did. So no, I don't like Justice League International. That's one of my slight reprehensions. I'm a little bit apprehensive when it comes to Superman, because that seems to be the era that James Gunn favors, is that JLI era of the mid to late 80s, early 90s. I've never been a fan of that era. Like I said, they just went through the B list real quick. I mean, I lose Hal Jordan or John Stewart, and I get Crew Cut Man and his dog Nort. So no, cannot stand Justice League International. Now, are you talking about the comic, Braden? Or if you're talking about the comic, that's my feeling on the comic. I haven't watched the I thought there was a cartoon. I know Justice League Unlimited is pretty decent. It's a little bit better. But as far as just Justice League International as a concept, no, not for me. What about you? Are you familiar with Justice League International?
I know, I know of it, but I can't say I've read a whole lot about it. To be perfectly honest, I mean, the Justice League I've read is mainly the mainline Justice League.
I'd say that's a lot of people too. I drank a 40.5 tonight. Still celebrating. Damn, fool. Let's see, alcohol. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so all you guys enjoy that. How you doing, Daniel Martin? Guys, a lot of you guys are still celebrating the New Year. Yeah, Fantastic Four is number one for me, but like I said, there's like six or seven movies in between. I didn't realize how many movies that I had been waiting for are coming out in 2025. So I'll be headed to the cinema on multiple occasions, promoting half of them, but at the same time, there are going to be some that if they don't, like say if they don't promote Fantastic Four out here, then I'm still going to I'm going to Fantastic Four like that night before. I'll be at the earliest preview screening so I can see Galactus, a full-blooded, full-on iteration of Galactus for real. In the actual movie. Like I said, I've been spoiled a little bit because Comic-Con we actually saw him, but I cannot wait to see him in action. Finally, Galactus has been around since the mid 60s. Why did it take me this long to get a live action Galactus on the screen? That's a damn shame, but you know what?
What are you talking about? You got him back in 07.
Not the Smoke Monster. That's what actually, that wasn't a bad movie. I gave up on that, but I hated that movie, not because it was a bad, Fantastic Four movie. That whole thing. I mean, Silver Surfer is the coming of Galactus, and not only did you not give me, you half-assed it. You didn't even. I don't know why they did that. I mean, you're going to do coming of Silver Surfer. Then, as far as I'm concerned, you're setting up for a third one. The last scene I should have seen in Rise of the Silver Surfer, or whatever the fuck it was called. Should have been Galactus. And then, just like you read in the books, Fantastic Four 48, 49, and 50, coming up with Galactus, that's what it should have been. But yeah, they really didn't get that done. Now we have the first Fantastic movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're getting it started off in the right way. So that is my most anticipated movie of the year. But there are some in there. There are some other ones in there that I just didn't realize, oh shit, yeah, it's 2025, and this movie's coming out. So we'll go over that. So everybody get their list together. Once again, science fiction, horror, fantasy, comic book movies. If you come in here with some Timothy Chalamet, whatever, let's go drive out in the field or some crap, you're going to get the X, and I'm going to have a specially designed X for you if you do that. All right. It's not going to be the little small buzzer. It's going to be a long one that stays on until I cut it off. All right. So come proper, come correct with the right topics. When we do this, I will more than likely, I don't think I'll be available for our standard time, but I still might stream. I still might do it. I don't like going without a Saturday overnight show, so we may just do it then. So, plus I like making thumbnails for that. So there we go. Oh, RJ Fun. Oh, did I see Fun in there? Oh no, that's Chappie. Oh wait, look who's here. Rhea, how are you doing? Hit the like button, subscribe, share, do all that kind of stuff. If you'd like to support the channel, we have several different ways. You can become a member. You can hit the super thanks, or you can hit the super chat button. We'll answer your question if it's appropriate for the show. Or you can join the Patreon. All you guys who are on the Patreon are the ones that end up being our co-hosts for these crazy things that we end up doing, like 12 hours on New Year's Eve. How many people watch that show? About 7. It's a pretty decent. A lot of people watch that one. We're going to probably reach 800 on that stream. I don't know what the last year's numbers were, but hey. Fourth 1,000. Okay, they're talking about their New Year's passengers. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you guys can bring your list. What mythology movies come out in 2025? I mean, mythology is fantasy, so yeah, that would count. I mean, even if it's not good fantasy, like if it's boring fantasy like Tolkien, then it's still fantasy. Still counts. Let's see. Seems like people are more excited for Superman than Fantastic Four. No one that I know puts Superman, outside of my YouTube, whatever. But the people I talk to in my store and in my community here, I haven't met one person that's more excited for Superman than they are Fantastic Four, because the MCU machine has already proven them that. So that's where their mind goes. They're not dogging Superman, but as far as like anticipation, it's like unanimous. Also, where you're seeing that online and places like that, remember, we just had a Superman trailer. This will flip once the Fantastic Four trailer comes out. Once the Fantastic Four trailer, because like I remember interest for Thunderbolts wasn't quite where it is now, but once that trailer came out, the interest for Thunderbolts is skyrocketed. Same thing with Captain America, Brave New World. So yeah, right now Superman has a trailer out. It just has a trailer. Fantastic Four has not had one, but if Super Bowl Sunday comes around and Fantastic Four, even if it's the thing that I saw at Comic-Con, I think that's going to change the trajectory of the hype for right now. We still got at least 2 more trailers for both of these movies to come out. But yeah, for me, if you're asking me, no, it's not even close. It's not even, it's not, like I said, I had literally, I originally had Superman in my top 5. Then I looked at the list of what was coming out and I'm like, ooh, no. Now of that month, yeah, it's going to be, I'm going to see it first day. With it being a DC movie that they're hinging a lot on, they'll probably put a screening in Vegas, whereas they didn't consider us a major market. I don't think they're going to make the mistake of not promoting this movie in every state that has a major city in it. So, but yeah, I haven't ran into anybody off of YouTube that is more Superman than Fantastic Four. But then again, like I said, YouTube is different. And we've all been talking about this trailer since how's it, 2 weeks now? 3 weeks? So, Brad, between the two of them, which one are you anticipating more, Superman or Fantastic Four?
I mean, you might. I see. I'm probably not the best candidate to ask that question. Thank you, Ray. I'm probably the best candidate to ask the question too, because obviously I've got baggage coming into how this particular Superman's coming around to begin with. Then there's also the fact that I'm just never been that big a Fantastic Four guy, so it's like it'd be just kind of by default Superman would be it's the more anticipated of the two for me, but also again with baggage and with prior history like that. So it's like I probably
if you could, because that really, I mean, if you could just base this movie on what you know about Superman, would it still be the same?
It probably would again because I've just never been that enamored with the Fantastic Four. So, but again, I totally get everything you're saying. Where it's again the machine that they're each of them was plugged into, and and everything you were just laying out there. But so yeah, I'm probably kind of the minority. When you're talking about it, if you're just saying like in a vacuum, a Superman movie is coming up, a Fantastic Four movie is coming up, which one are you just just in isolation be looking more forward to? It's like for me, it would be Superman.
See, for me, like I said, and like things could change, but once again, I'm a little bit like I said, I'm biased because I wanted to see. Thank you, Larry. Both of you guys just hit us with a gift. Thank you. That's a great way to support the show. And like I said, it goes into the show. Like I said, if you've followed us for the calendar year of 2024, Comic-Con was made by viewers. I would not have been able to do the things to the level that I was able to do this year. I hope I up it. Like I said, I am. We're going this year as a crew. As soon as our credentials and everything in it, it'll be me, it'll be Ray, it'll be Brad, and we're actually going to go as a press unit if everything goes right. So all the support helps. And thank you, Larry, and thank you, Rhea. Yeah, see, coming into this, it was more of a as a pure all around comic book guy. I mean, Fantastic Four for me. We grew up knowing what they meant to history, and we've always had Superman movies. So, and with Galactus being one of the first galactic type enemies, I'm definitely going to So there was a comment here I wanted to read. I forgot. Let's see. Oh, here we go. William, what do you think about releasing the Air Cut out in a bundle of this? Releasing the Air Cut in a bundle of Suicide Squad and the last season of Waller, the first season of Waller. Do you think both? That's possible. That's possible. They'd be better off putting it in Batman versus Superman, because I don't know how well the Suicide Squad is going to do. As far as, even if it's the 10th anniversary, it's considered throwaway characters, especially that last one. I would put it with BVS, because you don't have, outside of the YouTube world, you don't have that kind of interest for this. So if you want to get it done, put it with two marquee characters that can justify the expenditure. Still do it, but I don't know if the Air Cut, the Suicide Squad, and the first season of Waller is enough for, to justify spending anything on that. You know what I mean? It would be better, because once again, it lines up with the story that's being told. Because not only would I do that, I would do the Nightmare, because once again, one of the reasons why I wouldn't even give the Air Cut a lot of day on its own is because the only reason I even care about that, because it leads characters into the mainline universe and the mainline story that we were being told. Especially now that I've seen the last Nightmare epilogue, I don't want to hear anything about the Air Cut unless I'm finishing or giving another chunk of that story, because now I want to see how Harley Quinn died. Now I want to see how that relationship with the Joker really developed. I actually care about that now because of where it's leading to. So yeah, you could do it that way, Daniel. I would still say your odds of success are better with making a superset with BVS. That's just me. What do you think, Bradley?
I mean, yeah, probably it's like packaging it with like the set of movies or the story that it was, it's actually attached to is just kind of makes most business sense, I think. And we don't even know like what the Waller series, like what shape that's going to take, even though it's got Viola Davis, attached to it. So it's kind of like it's kind of like with these things that the fandom is asking for. It's like as far as like making a business case for it, it's like the best thing to do is like again, one of the best requests to ask is, hey, package it with the stuff that's already out there that is attached to the versions of the characters in the universe that it originates from.
I think it gives you your best option to get a yes, from people, because you're going to be asking this maybe of people, that are not necessarily deep in the lore, but they know who those characters are. I think Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman gives you a better opportunity of yes than anything else. William, when do you think Superman and Fantastic Four? I think Super Bowl Sunday. That's my bet.
Yeah,
Sunday.
probably.
Let's see. I'm just jumping around here. If you see one you want to pick out, go ahead. Larry, when I talk to anyone outside, okay, I guess you're talking to Larry, outside of our geek culture, they're not even aware there's a new Superman movie coming. The trailer, it's starting to get more and more though. Prior to the trailer, nobody knew or cared. Its awareness is up there now. A lot of those views though, it's less watching it and dissecting it. I mean, how many? I know some people who probably added a million views to that fucking thing, but I think it's getting better now. But it's going to take more work with Superman because you kept Superman, the character, in witness protection for it's going to be 7 years. It's going to, after giving you a constant flow from 2013 to 2017, you went almost 8 years. I'm sorry, 8 years, since Superman was on a proper big screen. So a lot of people's interest is going to be, it's going to have to get ramped up again. So yeah. Whereas Marvel, even though you haven't seen Fantastic Four, you've seen the MCU. That's your credibility of people giving you it. You're always going to get the benefit of the doubt when you've had the success that they've had and you've had the continuity that they've had. I always say continuity is cash. The biggest thing Marvel has going for it, and it allows them to get away with some mediocre movies every now and then, is the continuity. They follow through. When DC gets there, they're going to be a juggernaut. They had some really good West Coast Avengers. They came out with the concept of West Coast Avengers. I thought, this is stupid. This is really stupid. Then I saw the lineup. They just didn't throw some goofy Avengers, sea level Avengers. They actually had, Iron Man was with them. Wonder Man was. I mean, you had some Scarlet Witch. You had some high top tier Avengers. And it solved the problem of there being too many Avengers, because that became the joke of the 80s, is that everybody was an Avenger. It's kind of like now, but in the comics, it was just like everybody was an Avengers. And nobody wanted to, be off the team. No writer wanted to, to lose a character. So they split them up, and you had the West Coast Avengers. And it was actually really good. Then they tried to redo it again with Force Work. That kind of failed, but I think they're restarting West Coast Avengers. I got to look at my, my solicitation. I think I saw, I think I ordered that. It's on one thing, but yeah, I liked it. Not at first, but once I started reading it, especially when John Byrne took over, that was really good. The U.S. agent, after he Captain America had taken up back the mantle as Captain America after he gave it up in issue 332, the U.S. agent was sent to the West Coast Avengers to be the government liaison. So there you go. Let's see. Thoughts on Gun? I did not see them. I've been busy all day. Did you read those?
Oh yeah, something about he's telling people why you see Batman in silhouette and the Karichi is he didn't want to commit to a suit design yet, so that's why it's okay. Batman's basically shown in shadow,
which is fine. Plus, like I said, we don't know when he does Brave and the Bold. We don't know how long in the timeline it's going to be, or where are we at with this? Is it going to be a linear thing, or is he going to do it like Star Wars, where you're telling different words? Like when we see Batman, is Batman further on in the future? I mean, I don't know yet. I haven't seen him specify, so that's good that he's not painting me. I thought I saw Trunks the other night, but I hope that's not the case. Batman. The case for Batman with Trunks is even more ridiculous than the case for Superman with Trunks. Sorry. That's how I feel. All right. Let's see. You just caught up? Yeah, we were watching it last night. One more episode left. And then hopefully, like I said, that leads us into what I think is going to lead up. If I'm to believe Phil's speculation, he hadn't told me anything, but he seems tight-lipped about when I started asking certain questions. So I'm looking forward to it next week. What happens if Fantastic Four disappoints you? I doubt it will. But what if the movie sucks? Man, I'm going to be realistic. I mean, that's a risk I go into just about every movie I take. That's a chance you take when you go see a movie. There have been movies that, like I said, I waited 20 years for Independence Day. Independence Day is one of the great science fiction movie achievements of all time. I patiently waited 20 years for that heaping tornado pile of shit that movie was. And to the point where I hope that if they ever do a third one, they find some way to make it that Independence Day resurgence doesn't exist. Get Will Smith, pay Will Smith whatever you need to pay him to clear his schedule, so Colonel Hiller or General Hiller, whatever he is, can come back. But yeah, when it comes to like anticipation, disappointment, that's the risk I'm going to take with every movie that I'm going to see or that I've ever done. So I don't think when it comes to the A-list, and I consider a Fantastic Four an A-list character or A-list characters, they haven't disappointed me. I mean, Thor, but like Avengers 2012. I mean, like I said, we were discussing the other night how Avengers 2012 is probably the second most important comic book movie ever made. They didn't let me down there. They've yet to let me down at the critical juncture stories. This is a critical juncture story. So if this is a letdown and disappointment in that regard, it'll be the first time. And I don't see it happening. But like I said, when it comes to Superman, I don't expect to be let down. Just given the body of work, the stuff that I enjoy from James Gunn, I think I think I'm going to be fine with it. Now everybody else. Once again, if you thought Zack Snyder was a divisive director, so is James Gunn. And that's fine. There's plenty of great directors where half the audience doesn't like their shit. That doesn't mean they're not great directors. So that's where I'm at as far as a disappointment. But yeah, I might be disappointed with some of the people, the ones that are on my list that I have ahead of Superman. There's a couple in particular that I'm anticipating, but I'm like, ooh, I see the opportunity for fuck upness. So what about you, Brad? I will. Actually, never mind. That's the same question I kind of just asked you. Sorry.
Pretty much.
All right. Dilbert. Why is Dilbert on my screen? How you doing, Azteca? I'm not saying this is on my most anticipated list, but what happens if I say Michael Jordan biopic is on them? If Michael Jordan's biopic is on your list, is there one coming out? But it doesn't matter. Unless he's putting on a suit of a technological armor and, or he's got wizards and dragons or, I don't even know. We're not talking about that. Yeah, no. Your personal list is fine, but for the one that you guys submit to the show, I want to hear about that. Let's see. Channeling fun. Are you conjuring up fun? One of these days I'm going to find out that you're all these people that you're summoning. I actually think he might be a mega swiper. Because there's just no way you conjure up that guy and he comes like he does. Let's see. Yes, congratulations, the new members. Thank you. I still don't see high interest in Captain America or Thunderbolts. Not saying that they'll be bad, but it's like typical Marvel versus something fresh and exciting. I've gotten a lot of interest, from when I'm talking to you about Captain America, especially once Harrison Ford is was all the general audience. The general audience that I've talked to connects with Harrison Ford in anything that he's in, And as far as Thunderbolts goes, I would have said that before the trailer was released. After the trailer, I've seen a lot of hype for Thunderbolts, but with Marvel, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to. Their success is not judged by per movie. Their success is judged by how each movie helps their overall narrative that they're telling. And I do believe that all these movies are leading to the ultimate narrative that they're telling. So I think they'll make good money. They don't need to be billion-dollar movies. They just need to move their overall narrative forward. And I have heard hype for Thunderbolts and Captain America, especially after the trailer where you saw Harrison Ford turn into the Red Hulk. Every person that's ever bought into the MCU at its top game is that's all you need. That's all you need. Let's see, green chat. No, we're talking about once the trailer that happens, the teaser, and then your real trailer that'll happen probably on Super Bowl Sunday. But once again, I truly believe that Fantastic Four will have one on that very same day. What's that? Oh, Williams X Cats and Boxes. I don't get it. What I miss, guys? Let's see. The band is just Fantastic Four. That's what I really think. Oh, by the way, which one's pink? Oh, he's talking about from Multiverse of Madness. All right. Congratulations to all of you guys. Hello, Chuck. Booster Gold and Ted Cord have the best bromance. No. Ugh. This two make me sick. Like I said, that's one. I'm sorry. I know you got. I can feel the hate coming from because Booster Gold is really. I don't know why. But the traditional JLA or Justice League collector me, couldn't stand seeing those characters in Justice League. But I know I'm getting those movies. I mean, we already got Blue Beetle that nobody saw. But I there's no way in hell that James Gunn is going to not do Booster Gold. There's no way he's not going to do this. Especially you can feel he loves the JLI, and Booster Gold and Blue Beetle were a major part of why I didn't read those books, but they were always there. Yeah, we're getting a Booster Gold. And it'll probably be from one of his people that he's dealt with in Marvel. There's no way we're not getting people. Hello, Ozzy. All right, I already said Chuck, Space Pants, Mighty Rex. What's the best retcon from Chris Reeve Superman? I think Reverse in Time. That's the biggest one, I guess. Super set of Man of Steel. That like I said, I came up when we were talking about this about a year or so ago. Yeah, make it if you're gonna justify these little crumb projects that don't have any justification without the big projects, you got to put the big names in there because you, like I said, you're gonna get a no. You're gonna continue to get a no when it comes to the air cut without some justification for it. And like I said, this ticks off a lot of boxes and allows you to print more DVD or Blu-rays. I keep saying DVDs. Blu-rays and special editions and things like that. And also what I would do is I wouldn't necessarily put that on HBO Max for a while. I would put that on PVOD with the special features and with all the nightmare stuff and all that. Put that on. People will buy that. You don't have to charge $30 for it, but you can get whatever you're going to charge for the Blu-ray, because a lot of people won't go out and buy Blu-rays, but they still want to see the stuff. So a lot of money to be made. I still want Suicide Squad with Deathstroke leading the team, with Red X hunting them down, or Red Hood hunting. I don't think you're gonna. Well, I don't think you're gonna see that anytime soon. But who knows? Fake trailer. Well, it's not even a trailer; it's a teaser. We're gonna get the trailer in February, I believe. Yes, for the 48 of you, 26 of you are in. Actually, 31. Wow, this is a flip. Usually, it's starting to work. Usually, the majority of the people are in Twitter, but now it's the majority of the people that are watching from YouTube, which is what we've been trying to do. And as a matter of fact, let me get back here and do some reinforcement of where we want you to be. We love the fact that you coming to us from X. That's it. Yeah, however you find us is great, but hook some broke brothers up and come over here, because Elon is not going to give us any coin for promoting his whatever he's turned it into now. I don't even have a name for it, man. Q and Q in the title. Okay, good. Question and questions. We ain't getting no answer. I'm just kidding. That fucked that up. I can't edit it anyway. I'll edit it in post. Oh no, I can do it. There we go. Nah, it's already happening. So I'll do that. I'll do that later on. You knew what I meant. It's in the thumbnail. All right. So I know Tom Hardy was up for Rick Flag, and I heard that Ryan Gosling was considered, but I don't know for what part. Me either. Do you think eventually? Yeah. I think eventually you'll get a Wonder Woman a movie from him. That's going to be interesting. Let's see. I was okay. What happened? Did you do that or did I do that?
I pulled Chad.
Oh, okay. My favorite Avengers team is not the main line, but the Dark Avengers. I mean, I like that story. I like that story, but my favorite is always going to be the main line, the original 5 or so, and then the couple that got added on afterwards. Those are my favorite. Go ahead and bring yours up. Sorry about that.
What are your top 3 Danny DeVito movies? Interesting question.
I don't have any.
Yeah, I might need to think on that. It's like, well, I might put Last Action Hero that voices the animated cat. There's that. So there's that. What else do you do that I really liked? Shit. He's not in Jumanji, the next level, all that much, but I do sort of like that, so I'll probably include that too. Actually, then probably Batman Returns too. I really dig his Penguin.
Yeah, he's primarily in movies that I would rather sit in the chair and have you shoot BBs at my groin than watch. The one movie that that would cross over into something I would see, I don't like him in it, and that's Batman Returns. He's not. I don't know. He plays a good something, but that's not a Penguin. And that movie failed me on a lot of different. That's one of my least favorite sequels. Everything I loved about the original 1989 was gone from that sequel.
Oh, I agree. It's not a Batman movie. I agree. I agree. It's definitely, and it's not a recognizable Penguin. But I still have a.
No,
it's kind of thing where it's like they're. It's the kind of thing where it's like there's a lot of things about it that don't work, but you still enjoy it anyway.
Yeah, I wanted to walk out on it, but I was being picked up that day, so I was kind of stuck. I would have walked out on that movie. It just was slow, as boring, as depressing. And plus, like I said, nothing against Dan DeVito. He's in things I just don't watch. I can't think of anything he's in it where I've watched it. I mean, he's primarily in comedies, and I primarily don't watch those. So, sorry. So that pretty much question was for Brett. But thank you for the $2 super chat, bro. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I liked him in Taxi. That's where I first saw him.
This is actually one you probably did like him in. That was a Man on the Moon, where he was George Shapiro on Man on the Moon.
Yeah, he played a. Yeah, okay. There you go. There you go. There's one. But I have to search for. I mean, that's it. That's gonna be it for me.
He was good in Matilda, and he directed. Yeah. I also liked him in Twins. I did actually dig that him and the rapport that he and Arnold Schwarzenegger had. And again, that's why I feel like that's where Kevin Hart finally started to grow on me because you can see like a similar sort of dynamic between the short. How's it going, Ruff?
Hi, Bill.
The Schwarzenegger DeVito dynamic, you kind of see that you sort of mirrored in The Rock and Kevin Hart. He has sort of buddy comedy relationship. You got the big buff dude and the fast talking sidekick.
Yeah. I listen. The justification for Trunks on either one of them is bad. Modern era bad. I mean, back in 1938, 1940s, like we've already gone over the explanation why it made sense there. It doesn't make wearing your underwear on the outside of your pants is not just. It sounds as silly as I just expressed it. Wearing your underwear in 2024, 2025, wearing your underwear outside your pants sounds as silly as I just made it sound. With no, so no, I'm never gonna be sold on that one. But like I said, when it comes to the Superman, I have not seen the Batman outfit, but when it comes to the Superman outfit, you can go from head to toe. I don't. There's not much that I like about it, other than the fact that to the general audience, it works because it's recognizable as Superman. But I've never seen a comic book costume where I've hated just about every aspect of it. I'm not even a big fan of the yellow S. I mean, you don't know that Superman? Did you mean, Superman? Oh, wait, I wouldn't have known it was you until I asked you to turn around. But boy, that yellow S on the back, that
yeah, I can go either way with the yellow S on the back of the cape. It's a bit of
I mean, it doesn't hurt it. It's not going to kill it. I just thought it was kind of silly.
Well, and like in live action, I mean, this is the first time we've seen it on there. I guess they pretty much ditched it in live action from like Superman Returns on. So until now.
Yeah, so. And be honest, it was the right decision.
And even comics wise, it's been 21st century. It's been kind of here today, gone tomorrow with the S on the cape.
I was hoping it would be gone forever, but like I said, none of these aspects of it. And like I said,
I'm sorry. It's like whatever feelings we might have about the movie itself when we actually finally see it. That the Corn Sweat explanation to Gunn is like, why should that's just such that has got to be the most ridiculous justification for having the trunks I've ever heard.
Yeah, it makes people more friendly to regular humans. I'm like John Campia said it perfectly. If I walk up upon you and you're wearing your underwear on your pants, I'm not attracted. I'm going the other way from you. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I like the fact that Superman's costume is alien in nature and MOS. Yeah, Man Steel. It was more believable.
When it was chainmail.
Well, the whole I don't know if chainmail. We got to find out what that the texture, because chainmail is like what Captain America is supposed to be, where he actually needs chainmail, and they never really got it right in the comics. It looked like gills.
Well, it looks like feathers.
Scales. It looked like scale. Yeah, feathers or scales. Yeah. Everything about Man of Steel's alien technology, the way it starts out, is why that'll always be, until I see otherwise, the most preeminent Superman to me, because Superman is an alien. And I know that he's supposed to live among us and have our values. But I think over the decades, it's gotten pushed away, the fact that this man is not human. All right. He comes from a place that is not human, that has different standards, things like that. And I love the way in Man of Steel, it shows you that aspect of it. And by the way, by extension, the Absolute Superman, if you guys aren't reading that, the alien nature of Superman is being put front and center in a way that I've never seen it done in a Superman comic. Number 3 of that just came out. We'll be reviewing that. Absolutely. No, we are promoting it. I've been going back and forth. It's not out here until the 13th, 14th, and 15th. So we will be doing something special here, and I'm actually working with Jagged Edge. They have a guy here in America. They didn't have a person here in America when Pooh Blood and Honey and Pooh Blood and Honey 2 got released. They actually have a guy, in my time zone type of thing. So we're working on doing something special for that, for the screenings that will be happening on in a few weeks. But we are definitely going to have not only will we when I'll be going to the movies, but I'm going to be interviewing. I've already interviewed Tinkerbell, but we're getting the interviews for Neverland Nightmare lined up right now. So we will be talking to the main cast. Thank you for bringing that up.
Now we got another super chat. Well, this one might be a little bit more amenable.
Oh, that's easy. Okay. Number 1, Fisher King. Number 1 is Fisher King. Number 2 is Awakenings. And number 3 is Good Morning Vietnam. Those I've had in my head, and those aren't changing. If you guys have not seen Fisher King, please go see the Fisher King.
We're going to do a watch party about like that and Batman Forever. Those are ones that I feel like I'm surprised we haven't done.
Fisher King doesn't count as our content. So the fantasy aspect of the Fisher King is not real. It's him. It's his mind. It's what's going on in his mind, because he's been driven crazy, and the only thing that's keeping him sane is this quest to find the Green Knight. And you see the Green Knight throughout it, but it's a figment of his imagination. It's this Fisher King it's Fisher King, and then everything else is in a completely separate room. Even the 2 after that, Awakenings is great. Robert De Niro's Awakenings is great, and then Good Morning Vietnam speaks for itself. But the Fisher King is his best movie. it's his best movie. And like I said, if it wasn't for the most iconic 17 minutes of all of movie history and Hannibal Lecter, Robin Williams wins that year. Yeah, because it's a beautiful. We may do Fisher King. I don't know. I think the hallucinations count as fantasy. I don't know, but it is if you call yourself a Robin Williams fan and you haven't seen it. I'm not saying you're less of a fan, but if you are a fan of the work that you have seen of his and you haven't seen Fisher King, man, I envy you. I envy you because there was only one first time for me. You're seeing that for the first time, especially now that he's gone. I actually think that movie hits a little bit harder. So go see Fisher King's. But yeah, that's my top 3. Fisher King, Awakenings, Good Morning Vietnam. What's yours?
Me personally, I'd probably put Hook as my personal favorite because that's my definitive Peter Pan. Yeah, I knew William just went Brad.
Okay.
What else? I always really dug Jumanji too with him, and then Mrs. Doubtfire I probably also put in there too. And the thing about Hook and Mrs. Doubtfire, I think even a bit with Jumanji because because there's always kind of this dichotomy in Rob Williams movies where he was kind of always perceived, and I don't think this is unjustified. He was either you just be doing like the wacky, improvisational comedy, or he was taking on very heavy, very dramatic material. And a lot of those, the thing about those for me is that you really kind of see both. Really, you see him excel at both of those, and really in equal measure, in Hook and to some extent in Jumanji, and then in Mrs. Doubtfire as well. But I mean, I grew up with the man's work. I mean, he is. I maintain he is probably, in my estimation, the funniest man to ever walk the face of the earth.
Did you see Fisher King?
I have seen Fisher King. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, having seen him perform live, I'm telling you, it's like it's just it's like it's the kind of thing where it's like I just love sharing that experience with people. Like, and that was about 1.5 years before he died, so that made me. I mean, I felt lucky in the moment at that night, getting to see a live performance, and then of course 1.5 years later, it's like, oh man, all the people who were never going to get that opportunity now, because I mean, just the energy he had. I mean, once he was going, I mean, it was just, 1,000 miles an hour. He could not be stopped. he just could bring so much joy and so much laughter to a room, and there's a reason why guys like that, become big stars, become like legends of comedy. And he, for anybody, if you haven't seen, anyone hasn't seen his live Rob Williams performance, go and what was I think it's just called Rob Williams on Broadway or whatever that one was. But there was one he probably did like 05, something like that, or 06, and you can find it on YouTube. And he it's just him on stage. He's got a table behind him with like 30 bottles of water behind him, because he is going so fast. And like whenever there's a close up on him, you see how much he's sweating like it's a workout. I mean, he's just the energy he put into it's just entertaining people was like just nothing I've ever seen. So yeah, it's it really was heart wrenching news to hear about it.
Good question, because like I said, we have a different range. I when it comes to Hook, it's like. And some of the other ones, like I said, I'm at the other end of his spectrum, but yeah, if you haven't seen Fisher King, go see it.
Let me look up his body work, because I'll do the same thing we've done with Ridley Scott and Steven Spielberg. Like look up Robin Williams' filmography and like say, okay, which one does William keep, which one does he toss, that kind of thing.
All right, Braden, what if while you're doing that, Braden, Final Destination is horror, but you ain't mentioning it on this show. I already told you that shit's bad. That's horror that I don't need in my life. I don't need to see the normal everyday shit that I see and that is around me killing people, because I won't want to use that. Killing people with a toaster, guess what? We're done with that. Chainsaw, fuck it. I won't cut it.
The tanning booth.
Yeah. I'm not in that tanning booth, so you can keep that one. But I have a real problem with movies where stuff like that happens with stuff that you have around you every day. I mean, it's like, oh man, I just use that ripped the skin off of somebody. I use one of those every day. Oh no, next. That movie gives me the chills, man. Gives me the creeps.
I got some of his here. So, Popeye. I definitely
Popeye was the very first Robin Williams movie I saw in the movie theater. Him and Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
I saw that in the movie theater because I grew up loving Popeye. And that movie, for what it was, not my favorite by any means,
Wasn't
but
his favorite either.
but when you look at what Popeye was in the cartoons, they literally made a fucking cartoon.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, he punches an octopus into outer space. And he hits Brutus so hard. I mean, he just knocks the shit out of him. And the whole they made that movie. They literally, I mean, he even looks, his arms are all fucked up. I mean, that movie was weird. But that was the very first Robin Williams movie I saw in the theater. What's the next one?
I'm kind of loose off like his career highlights. Yeah, Good Morning Vietnam, and yeah, that's the one. My dad told me the story a while back about like when he was like recording like all the the DJ stuff that's kind of interspersed through the movie. He that wasn't scripted. He just went into a booth. He recorded 6 hours of that stuff, and he hands it to him and says, "Okay, here, just cut it up however you want." Again, it's like he didn't. He's the definition of an improv comedian. It's like he did not. It's like once that spark goes off, he is.
And that's not a comedy. That's why. Good Morning Vietnam it's a movie with a comedian in it.
Yeah.
But that movie, you watch that movie. That movie's deep. It's a Vietnam era movie.
There's also a Dead Poet Society.
Disappointment for me. That he won his Academy Award for that, but that's not anywhere near the top for me. I tossed that one.
He had the fish. The Fisher King and Hook came out the same year.
Wow.
Yeah, both 91.
Wow.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot this. One of my highlights of him, Aladdin. How could I forget that? Genie and Aladdin.
Toss.
That was 92. Again, I'm not reading off everything here. I'm just kind of going through career highlights. He was also because he also did a lot of voice work too. Because again, he could do that. He just never needed a script. Yeah. Did, like Fern Gully, did Toys. He did Mrs. Doubtfire. Jumanji in 95. The Birdcage is an interesting one. And that's actually, I remember that was when we flew back home, when we live in Hawaii, we flew back stateside. We got transferred to Fort Campbell. That was, I remember that was playing, that was the in-flight movie on the plane. And I didn't watch it. And I found out later on, I was like, okay, what was that Robin Williams one on the plane about? Oh, it's about, and then my mom kind of filled me in, but, and then Jack. Yeah, Jack's an interesting one because it's like I don't like Jack that much, but Robin Williams really is kind of perfect for that role of a child in a man's body. Yes, he was amazing in Good Will Hunting.
I of all his movies that are considered his top movies, I think Good Will Hunting is the one that, and it pains me that they gave him an Academy Award for that because they couldn't give it to him in other years because that wasn't an Academy Award.
Well, that also basically launched Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. What else we got here? What Dreams May Come. That's an interesting one because that's of course that's definitely a far more dramatic one for him, and that's about dealing with the afterlife and that kind of thing. It's I don't think I appreciated it at that age, but I think I definitely do more so now. Patch Adams. I didn't like Patch Adams, and neither did Patch Adams himself.
I didn't see that. Do you think that superhero fatigue? I don't think there's such thing as a superhero fatigue. Bashing will help to rise. No, Jurassic World will make its money on its own, even if those two movies aren't going to be released. Now, the reverse effect might happen for those movies is that Jurassic Park being the first big one of that month will bring people into the theaters, and they'll be in that atmosphere, and they're much more pliable to come back to the theater. But I don't think there's any. I think superhero fatigue is something that people throw around to make themselves sound smart. Because they're in a mediocrity movie. If it's a good superhero movie, people go see it. If it's a mediocre one, then people always bring up superhero fatigue. It has to do with the quality of the movie, not the frequency of the movie.
I know this is one you definitely didn't like, even though it definitely does fall in the realm of sci-fi. Is Flubber.
I didn't hate it. I knew it wasn't for me. Yeah. They didn't make that movie for me. So
yeah. What else? He had a cameo in AI. I don't know if I can fully count it. The Bicentennial Man, that's kind of an interesting one because I remember that was marketed as a Rob Williams comedy, and people, it was kind of a backlash on it because it wasn't until people saw it that they realized this is much more of a character study of a machine becoming a man. What else we got of his kind of like career highlights? Then he had it's like 1 hour photo and Death to Smoochie. And
that one is really good. That one would be that one drifts near my top 4 or 5. 1 hour for he plays an absolute psycho in that movie, dude, and a believable psycho in that movie.
Yeah, definitely. Here's a good one. Man of the Year, where he becomes president.
Pass.
RV. That was kind of a silly comedy, but and then he played another president in the Night of the Museum franchise.
Yeah.
I remember
License to hitting the buzzers.
License to Wed. I remember seeing that in the theater. I thought it was okay. I mean, it didn't blow me away, but I thought it was all right.
See, most of his movies are movies that were like made for they're William repellent, So,
well, again, like I said, it's like has kind of like these two spectrums to his career, where it's like it's like serious character study, human interest drama, or it's energetic, electric, spontaneous comedy.
What Jim Carrey's career could have been.
He definitely did more dramatic work than Jim Carrey has. That's a missed opportunity. We never got to see them in a movie together. That would have been so awesome seeing them, on screen together.
Especially if it would have been a dramatic. If it was a comedy, I'd probably check out. See, almost completed. All right, William, what do you think the next game-changing comic book movie? I'm almost completely checked out at this point. Wouldn't mind seeing something that changes the direction around. Well, I don't think it's going to be Superman, because I think that's a lot of familiar stuff. I don't think it's going to come in from. I'm going to still say Fantastic Four, because of this is a movie unlike anything that they've done before. You have them starting out in their own universe. You have them at the beginning of a storyline that is supposed to bring back and consolidate all the universes that they now have under their umbrella. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and say Fantastic Four, but everything else is standard fare. It's still going to be good. But if you're talking about something going to change the game, I think having Reed Richards, now the person figuring out these things, and being Reed Richards, I think it's going to change the direction, not only for Fantastic Four, I think it's going to change the trajectory of the MCU in general. So that's what I'm going to say. What's your answer to that, Brad?
What's the next game changing? Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know, Blade, if it ever gets made. I don't know. It's like that's kind of a loaded question, because you kind of need to define the terms, I think, of like what you mean by game. What changes the game? I think. I think honestly, like for me, like one of those game-changing things recently was, and this isn't even a movie, Superman and Lois, because it changed the game of like superhero TV, as far as I'm concerned. I think probably like right now, it's like I don't feel comfortable committing to like anything that we know that's on the docket is going to be a game changer, because like really, if you think about it, like most game changers, they come by surprise. They come out of the blue. So I don't know. It's like I feel like the next game changer. I mean, like as with most genres, the next game changer, you can't pinpoint that or predict that. That kind of needs to just kind of just pop out of the blue and just really just sort of jolt everybody. So yeah, I think the next game changing one is going to be it's going to be one we don't expect it to be.
When do you expect the first Fantastic Super Bowl Sunday? It's rumored dropping before Brave New World comes out, but possibly sometime this month. I see it happening. What? By the way, what channel is the Super Bowl on this year?
I couldn't tell you.
Hold on, I'm gonna look, because that actually might work in is Super Bowl on this. All right. Oh, it's going to be on CBS. So, okay. So if it was going to be on ABC, then Disney doesn't have to spend $3 million or whatever. But yeah, I still think you're going to go ahead and you're going to see Fantastic Four, because by that time because you don't need a teaser for an MCU movie. You've had your teaser started in 2008. So I think the main one is going to be Super Bowl Sunday, especially if they hear that Superman trailer. The actual trailer is dropping on I think Disney and Marvel are definitely going to make sure that they get that out there on that day. All right.
RJ says on Fox this year.
I think it's on CBS. It says here CBS, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. I mean, that's old. That's last year's Super Bowl. For Fox.
Aaron, oh man, this could go either way. That is such a product.
Yeah, and it's Robert Eggers too, so it could be dude.
I know. Well, it's like, but I mean, you don't have Bowie, so it's like you take Bowie's, Jareth the Goblin King out. It's kind of like,
okay.
Oh man, how do you meet that bar?
By the majority of the people who will see this movie not even knowing that existed. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Know of it. Okay, so for a guy like me, a guy like you,
that's such a product. Jim Henson.
Yeah, 95% of the people who are going to go see it their parents weren't even born when that. I'm serious. Their parents weren't even born when that movie came out. So it's 1985. It's 40. It's 40. Yeah, I think you could do a really, really well with a elaborate. I'm not saying that you should do it, but I don't think that trying to replace David Bowie is going to be a big issue because the generation going to see it is not connected to the 80s. I mean, for me, it's like, yeah, I saw that movie. David Bowie is one of them. I wish David Bowie had done more acting because I think David Bowie was a splendid actor and he just didn't do a lot of movies. But for somebody like in their 20s, they're not going to have any connection to.
David Bowie was a great David Bowie in Zoolander. Yeah, and
not his brightest.
He was moment. If you ever seen The Last Temptation of Christ, too, he's got to be the most blunt, just indifferent to killing Jesus version of Pontius Pilate I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he's been, but like I said, I think 2020, whenever they get this done, that the new generation that they're catering to is they might now it might help put some light on the original movie. But I don't think this is one of the remakes for it's been 40 years. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with it. But yeah, I did see that they were remaking it.
A couple of super chats here. No, we already got that one.
Yeah, I think we got them.
You sent us a $5 one.
Did we miss that one?
I'll look up. Let me see if I can.
William, who's your favorite member of Fantastic Four? It's for me. It's Mr. Fantastic. Reed Richards, it's always been because it's just the way he addresses things. I love his depending on who's writing him, his frame of thought when it comes to figuring things out on a cosmic level. I've always enjoyed him.
Human Torch for me, again, that's speaking as a someone who's definitely far more lukewarm on the Fantastic Four collectively, and really it's like Human Torch a lot of it just defaults to his relationship with Spider-Man. That's kind of I know him comics wise far more so than that than Fantastic Four. And again, this isn't me like dissing Fantastic Four. It's just not my team.
Danny DeVito has primarily been in movies I don't go to see. It's really, I can't. What do you want me to lie? I don't want to come up with an answer just for to fill airspace. You know what I mean? I don't. Sorry. Let's see. Why am I off my rocker now, Larry? William and his torture fantasies. Okay, where the hell are we going with the chat? This is gonna be one of those nights where it seems like everybody is on Clint's flight. Let's see. William, might as well open the Lament Confederation box and summon Pinhead and the Cenobites. Nope. Let's see. Like Confidential. Yeah, I was so disappointed. That's one of the most disappointing moments I've had in a movie. Because a lot of my disappointment is the first one was really good, and I all I want you to do is maintain that level, at least try to maintain that level. And I just don't think Batman Returns ever did it for me. Probably one of the reasons why I enjoyed Batman Forever as much as I did.
Yeah. Again, when are we gonna do a watch party on that?
What Batman Forever?
Yeah.
We'll have to work it out. Like I said, I got to get past these next couple of weeks before I can start planning more watch parties. William and Brad, what do you think of Y2K? I thought it was fucking silly because every tech head I knew said it was stupid. It's just going to turn over. Computers already had programming built into them to avoid what people thought, but it was one of those mass hysteria things. Yeah, and when you have, this is where you learn that if you have somebody who's technologically fluent and heads of companies like that, premium programmers, and they're sitting around you and they're in your conversations, and they tell you no, this isn't going to be, and you choose to listen to Bubba, your neighbor, who maybe at a fourth grade intellect, spreading rumors about the world's going to end in the year 2000. Then that's on you. And that's what happened. And everybody was listening to some of the dumbest fucking people that could walk upright. Had everybody buying a bunch of water and all the scams that were going on. 1999, 2000, the ball drops, nothing happened. A lot of people were taken for polls because they listened to polls. So no, that's what I thought about it.
I mean, I was a little kid when that was going on. So it was at most kind of on my periphery. So
Kim Basinger won an Academy Award for LA Confidential. She was really good in that. I've not seen Get Shorty. I'm not going to see Get Shorty.
Let's see.
I am wearing pants. Why are you so obsessed with my pants, on or off me? This is getting kind of creepy, man. I don't even. You know what? I don't want an explanation. I don't want to know why you have
more obsessed with his pants than my phone. That's yeah.
But if it makes you feel safer, there you go. I'm wearing gray cargo pants. This is just creepy.
Bell Rep says they don't make CBMs for adults; they make them for kids. Yeah, I think. I personally think with kind of the tone, there has been it's kind of a case of be careful what you wish for, with a lot of the audience wanting everything to kind of embrace sort of the tone of the MCU, particularly the first four phases, and it's kind of gotten to the point where even a lot of MCU diehards are kind of are kind of wearing out on that, and so I personally think it's we need a diversity of tone. Some stuff that's more kid friendly, some stuff more adult friendly, and everything in between as far as CDM, so
no, fuck that. The movies are what they are. I think that Marvel's been even kill, to be honest with you. I think comic book movies have been even kill, unless you're talking about the cartoons. But I mean, what MCU has been for kids? It's been pretty much MCU films, comic book movies in general.
They got their first R-rated one last summer, and
that's not MCU though.
I use the term MCU very loosely in that case. Well,
okay, but something doesn't have to be R-rated to be deep and dark. Shit, I mean, fucking No Way Home is, dude. When Aunt May died, I mean, none of the Captain America movies are for kids. But now they appeal to kids because if you're writing comic book stories right, you're not kidifying shit. That's what people. That's the thing for me. As somebody who's been on the earth as long as I've been on, and 90% of my life has been as a comic book collector, they don't kidify the stories. They don't make them for when you read Daredevil did not, even before Frank Miller was dark. And when you read comic books and you watch, there's really one level. There's really one level now. Star Comics or something like that, Peter Porker, shit like that they made exclusively for kids. But in my opinion, and this is going for most of the comic books that either company or any of the companies that have been released in my lifetime, I don't know of any ones that's been made for kids. Even the indie ones, the indie ones were The Crow, I mean, even the Mask had more comedy in it, but it still had a level of violence in it that wasn't for kids. I can't think of a comic book movie that was not just, across the board made for a, one particular customer. Now, does it appeal to kids? Yeah, but it's not necessarily made for them. You see what I mean? Like any of the Spider-Man movies, those were adult movies, but they appealed to kids and they were, they were accessible to kids. But I would disagree there, Bill, that they don't make I don't think they make them for. I don't think they categorize it so because your median age when you're reading a comic is between 14 and up. And by what the standards of 14-year-olds or me, we were all reading college prep and doing all that stuff. So I think there's just a certain median period where these movies and these things are made for. That's just my opinion coming from my experience. Everybody's got different opinion. Everybody's knock it off with the fucking pants emojis. You're sick, dude. You guys are sick. Sick.
I don't expect all CBNs to be that way. Just some, yeah.
I don't think any of them are though.
What I mean is adult tone. Even Batman the Animated Series, Nights is adult tone.
All right, Bell. I'm sorry I have to do this. I'm sorry I have to do this because this just pains me to.
Hey, Beller, you're gonna have to come on here. Double team with Spidey one of these days about Batman the Animated Series of William.
I don't know what tone that was, but that definitely was an adult tone. Nothing that came on Fox Kids was adult tone. So, no. Val, you disappoint me today. All right. What do we got? That's Bell distracted me with that blasphemy. I'm just kidding, Bell. I love you. A lot of people, a lot of chatting tonight. Why is it ridiculous? What's ridiculous? Oh, wow, damn. Gordon Rett needed extra fabric to cover his. Don't want to get demonetized any further than we already are. I don't like Batman or Batman having trunks. I think it takes the fear factor. I mean, but like I said, Corn Sweat's his explanation. I'm like, dude, and James going, why are you listening to him about? You should have busted out and said, that's cute, Dave. Whatever. All right. Oh, pants. How much? All right. Just trying to see if there's any. A lot. You know what? But I don't hate Deadpool. I don't think that's anywhere near the level of the things that he should have won Academy Awards for. And like I said, I will always believe that Deadpool Society was that color purple for him. Because they didn't give Whoopi Goldberg when she should have won in '85 for Color Purple. I can't even believe 35 years later, I'm saying this, that she won an Academy Award for Ghost. For Ghost. Not, what? I mean, she didn't have many top tier roles like that. But Ghost was not it. Ghost, I remember choking on something when they announced that. Yeah, I'm interested in anything jagged edge has to do. Like I said, when we were at Blue Blood and Honey 2, they showed a piece of just a little snippet of Bambi, the Reckoning, and Bambi's just turning cards and shit over, and it's like, oh man, I cannot wait. Let's see. All right. Are you in the luggage compartment of Clint's plane? Okay. Aladdin. Okay, so we're still I'm way down here. Oh, Jesus. Flubber was thank you for the super chat. Superman. I almost said Superman. Flubber was the first movie I saw Robin Williams in. Miss Doubtfire is my favorite. I like Package Adams, RV, Old Dogs. My least favorite one. See, those most of those movies I just like. Mrs. Doubtfire just wasn't for me. Like I said, my top three. I told you my top three, and like I said, the fourth one is going to be 1 hour forward. He immerses himself in that role, man. But thank you for the support, Bunsen. On how we missed that one. I completely missed that one. Fern Gully. William, I saw your tweet of a kid opening a present and it had Halloween Ends, and I haven't seen Halloween Ends, but yes, Halloween's Ends sucks. All right, and while you're skipping that, skip Halloween Kills. Unless you want comedy that's not supposed to be comedy. The only one in that trilogy that was any good, in my opinion, was the one that they did in 2018. Because the rest of those movies were like, what am I doing to myself? And I went with Bradley and Austin to see that movie. I stood outside in the casino just so pissed that I had wasted my time in that movie. Flubber, Bicentennial Man. Thoughts on Insomnia? I thought it was decent. Not him or Pacino's best movie, but it had some quotable moments. Yeah, Awakenings is, oh my gosh. Awakenings, and you know, like I said, back-to-back years he's in these movies, and he was on a run from like 1988 to 1996 where I thought he did his best work. But Awakenings, along with Fisher King and Good Morning Vietnam, are some of his best movies. Let's see. Yeah, Bronson, I think I just read it. Sorry, you didn't have to do a $2 one to let me know about your $5 one, but thank you though. I just want to make sure I read it. But yeah, Bronson, I got both ears. Thank you for the support, man. Rest in peace, Robin. Yeah, I mean, his last couple of days would led him to do that. Like I said, I don't condone. Obviously, you know, we don't condone taking of your own life. But I think I have no right to judge Robin Williams given what he was going through. So I just wish he'd had a happier ending. You know.
Likewise.
Let's see what we got here. It's on Fox this year. So I'm getting down to the bottom because we got about 5 minutes left before I become incoherent with the Benadryl. It wasn't fun for me. I don't even think Returns is a fun rewatch. That's probably one of the Batman movies. And besides Batman and Robin, that's probably my least rewatched movies when it comes to the Batman franchise, especially of that late 80s, early 90s. Let's see. Let's not, Aaron. I don't want to ruin a double feature with that following it up because Batman and Robin is really bad.
I mean, we did do a watch party of Justice League, so
that was in context of what we were doing and where we were at. Yeah.
Which
Batman Forever is our Batman and Robin
movie. Which of those two would you say is the worst movie?
What?
Justice League or Batman and Robin? Which one would you say?
Batman and Robin by far. Batman and Robin by far.
See, for me, like Justice League, it's not just that it's bad; it's what it represents.
Yeah, but if I'm just basing it on the quality of the movie, then Justice League is like a scholar comparing a scholar to a kindergarten. It's just not the same.
I freeze some Batman.
What should have been more original? Okay, let's see. Let's get down here. There's a lot of chats tonight. Holy shit. They made an Arkham Origins. Okay, so you guys are talking to each other. Oh my goodness, what's going on tonight, guys? I wish I had the long one for that one. He's going to. But here's the thing: there's a lot of communal. There's a lot of common things.
Thorne in the last episode of Creature Commandos.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a mixture of things that because even though they kidified the animated series, there are still basic elements of it that make it recognizable from some of the stuff that happens. So I think they all are going to draw from that. I don't know if James Gunn is going to use the animated show like that, though. I think he might use familiars, like he might use characters, like he's using. That version of Clayface is in the comics, but he's using the version that you would know from that. I think he's going to do like an a la carte. I don't know. I think he's going to take ideas from a lot of things. Some of them I wish he's taking ideas from JLI. So so I think he's gonna. This is going to be a composite of his adulthood and childhood because, like I said, he's 56, 57 years old. So he would have been right at that median age that they were aiming for in the 80s. So you might see a lot of influences there. But me personally, I hope he takes nothing from the animated shows other than the basic recognition because no. The whole movie was just, I remember just feeling out, leaving and wondering, like, if I do I want to see another Batman movie? That's where I felt left out.
Here's an angle I could, definitely from my genre predilections that everyone will definitely enjoy. Batman Returns has what is, in my opinion, the worst fight scenes in any superhero movie, and a lot of that is because the suit is just. I mean,
it's still rigid. It's still rigid. Yeah, and it looks worse. I mean, they had problems in '89.
And I interviewed Keaton Stunt guy a few years ago. I interviewed Dave, who passed away a couple of years ago, unfortunately. David Lee. It's if anything, it's like you could see it's far more rigid and restrictive in Returns compared to '89.
Yeah, and you can see it in the movie. Bell Rev William hates animation. Confirmed. No, I just have no use for '90s animation because I've explained this before. I think it had an undue influence on storytelling going forward on mediums where it should not have had. Like I said, most of my headbutting when it comes to Ben Affleck, and Affleck or Henry Cavill or for people who use those animated cartoons as their basis for their opinion, and it's not just banging heads; it's headbutting. That's what I want to do. It goes the same thing when it comes to X-Men. You get that if a lot of people got introduced to X-Men with that cartoon, and then instead of leaving that where it is, they brought that standard of expectation into what they think X-Men content should be now that we have live action and things like that. And absolutely not. Listen, I watched the Super Friends when I was a kid, but under no circumstances did I ever expect that shit to influence anything I saw when it came to live action. The goofy shit that they did in those cartoons is great if you keep it there. But when you start saying, well, Batman never did that in the cartoon, how come he's doing it in live action? I just want to teleport you as close to the sun as I can and watch you burn. All right, that's metaphorically. So no, that's my main problem with the car. And unto themselves, they were fine. But it's the influence that I have a problem with. And like I said, that influence bore itself out when we started getting into the Zack Snyder stuff. Because once again, you had a generation that watched, soft and cuddly characters, bounce around on the screen and while they had their sippy cups and their diapers and grew into adults. I thought that's what should be, in comics. And it's like, you know what? No, Wolverine, especially X-Men, Wolverine disembowels people with those claws, by the way. More times than not, there is blood on those claws. That is not for kids. Apocalypse is not for kids. So when you neuter these characters to bring them into, to fit a kid narrative, I got a problem with that. If you try to make the argument that is definitive for characters going forward. So there you go. I want to clarify because I know you don't, you may not be listening to all the shows. No, it's not. It's not. I don't think James Gunn has any inkling. Is there something in the background? Is that zipping? Sounds like a drone. You got a drone. You're controlling a drone while you're on the stream, aren't you?
No, I
All right. Oh, by the way, keep an eye out there for Anthony ACS. He's in Georgia. He might be making it to Savannah by now because the Georgia Bulldogs lost today. And okay. I'm worried about you. I know if you're watching, Anthony, I'm here for you, man. I told him if they saw you wandering shirtless with the blank stare to get you to a gym as soon as possible to get your superpowers back. Yeah, don't make me throw up in my mouth before I've eaten my dinner, my Rex. Okay, fuck you guys. What are you talking about? No, I just don't go to see them in movies. Doesn't mean I hate them. My time is very valuable to me. I am a science fiction horror fantasy guy. That's what I make my time for. Sorry. All right, let's see. Fight scenes are trash. Oh no, man. Oh, what do you think about this?
Well, I definitely agree. The fight scenes are phenomenal, but it's like PTC. Well, I mean, it's like you definitely see like akin to me like Justice League War, the animated movie. So, I mean, it depends on like which DC animation. I guess.
Well, yeah. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the cheesy shit from the '90s, or are you talking about the stuff that's coming out in the last 10 years? That's
like some like the Justice League animated series. I can see a little influence there, but yeah, like a lot of like the Jay Oliva DC animated movies, and which everything before Tomorrowverse, Tomorrowverse kind of like really just that really was like a dip for me as far as like DC animated movies.
Yeah, that was Larry Couture.
Hold on. Fourth, there's no possible way you're not trolling us on this. Okay.
All right, you have two options: Bradman and Wilbin. Okay, Batman and Robin watch party or Batman and Robin the musical. Right now, baby, it's short. At the end of this stream, choose wisely. Okay, I've already chosen the musical. I can endure a couple minutes of bad Batman and Robin. I don't want to sit through that whole movie ever again in my life. Thank you for the support. We'll do that.
She's talking about the original DC.
Bell.
And like things like Flashpoint Paradox. The Flashpoint Paradox is really good.
Oh wait, that's later. Wait, whoa, no, okay.
I think she's talking about the original, like original, not like the original, like from a particular time period, just like the DC original animated movies. Is they're kind of
okay. All right, I got you. I get it. All right, then okay, I take away the X. Then
Apocalypse War, man, that's one of my favorites.
That's the best one.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
the best of their original.
And
the non-adapted one, the non-adapted, the ones that are non-adapted. That's the best.
And that is, as far as like anything Warner, there's two things. As far as like what we have right now, that's the closest thing we currently have to, sequels or continuation of Zack Snyder's Justice League. As far as like anything that follows the actual story, we talked about on here is Project Justice League, the fan comic that Four Nerds did a few years ago. Go watch that if you haven't. But then as far as anything that Warner Brothers themselves have produced, like the closest thing we have to Zack Snyder's intended sequels for Justice League is Apocalypse War, and even the makers have talked about they definitely had a lot of influence. So yeah, that came out during the right at the beginning of the pandemic. That came out right before the movie was announced, actually. So yeah, I dug the hell out of Apocalypse War. We should do a watch party for that.
William, remember when people thought that, yeah, and there's a lot of people scammed off of that too, man. Most of these things end up just being scams that just take advantage of people. It's like, it's like, wow. Hey, and by the way, when COVID hit, what was with the toilet paper craze?
Well, I mean, it was COVID was a stomach bug, and I guess everybody, their first thought was it was going to give everybody diarrhea. I don't know.
What were you doing before the pandemic? I don't, Matt. Don't answer.
Yeah, I remember like right when it was announced. I mean, I go over to my local Target, and the wall where all the toilet, it's just vacant. God, I can still remember like yesterday. I mean, just the panic that was gripping everybody when it was announced what was happening, because I think most people alive today had not experienced anything like that.
No, but you have to be 100 years old too. Okay, I said control. All right, cool. That's fine. Sort of like I don't know. William Batman Beyond is just as popular as Bruce Batman. That's not true. That's the thing about you guys with this Batman Beyond stuff. That's not. You wish it were true. You'd be crossing your fingers, hoping that the movie you released, if you released it today, wouldn't bomb. But no. And once again, I'm all for Batman Beyond, but I don't want to see it fail, anybody lose their job if you tried to do it today without any buildup, any credibility buildup, because outside of the internet, Batman is Bruce Wayne. That's it, I didn't create that reality. That's the reality. So right now, instead of people coming at me with the whole Batman Beyond thing, they, convince people to, to make go the Miles Morales route with it, and then you'll be there one day. Even Miles Morales is not in live action yet. There's more credibility with that character because you're talking about a Spider-Man. It's not Peter Parker, which is a big jump. But you at least have animated movies with them, feature-length movies, and with a natural trajectory to get to live action. You don't have any of that with Batman Beyond. You have nothing with Batman Beyond. All right, so Batman Series begins. Okay, I already know that you're. I already know you're 10 sheets to the wind. So yeah, I'm not saying you guys don't dislike. Listen, I'm saying, okay, there's a reason why you haven't had a Batman Beyond movie. I'm just liking Terry McGinnis, and is he marketable as Batman? in a live action movie. Now, I could see doing another animation. In fact, you probably should be doing a few animation movies to build that up and get that going again. Because right now, you're talking about a TV show that hasn't been on the air in 20 years. Actually, over 20 years. So, yeah. Keep working on it. What Batman is that, Wayne guy? See, yeah, you guys, it's a joke. It's funny, haha, but you know I'm right about that.
Well, William thinks that nobody but me likes the raid too, so just bear that in mind.
Once again, you guys can get all your friends together and say, "Man, William's a bonehead. He hates it. He doesn't know anything about that." You can get all your friends in a little room and multiply them times 30.
I'm telling you,
and it's still wouldn't be able to make the case to do something that is going to sell to millions on top of millions. You liking it? Listen, there's a lot of shit that I like that I'm never going to see, or I'm never going to see again. You know, I mean, you have no business reason to do that. And like I said, the people who you're going to say, "Can you fund this for me?" And once they start asking questions, then they get to, well, you know, who's going to play Bruce Wayne? And you tell them, well, no, there's no, you know, he's not Batman in this one. Like I said, they're not going to have their X. They're going to have a button that they're going to push. And some people are going to come in and they're going to, like, you know, they're going to try to give you some signals like, hey, it's time to go. And hopefully you listen. And so you're not dragged out, because it's a dead end. It is dead on arrival. Will it always be that way? No. But right now, everybody wants to pull this out of their ass without doing the work that it would need to do for anybody to be like, okay, let's fund this. All right, liking something ain't funding something. Sorry. And when you bring up the raid, I don't know why.
I'm telling you, when we get Zack Snyder on the show, I'm going to ask him, and he is going to give that mic drop moment, great. And I am going to enshrine that on as on this channel all time.
A big deal.
Liam's a fan of the raid when we had him.
That's fine. I'm not saying. Okay, what you guys like and where you want it to go. It's like you guys don't have any, like, you don't know how to put that screw into that nut to understand that. Liking something and, you know, selling it to the masses are two different things. There's a lot of shit that I like that would never pass muster if I was going to try to get it into the next level. All right. I'm glad you love it. Glad you love the raid. I'm glad you guys like Batman Beyond. But it's not by accident that none of these things have taken the next step. Ask the people who make this shit why it's not happening. Don't ask me. Ask them.
We're gonna ask Zach, and William is going to.
Okay, Zach's not making the next raid movie.
Hand on here that we have the best Batman fight scene of all time as a result of the raid.
How does that relate to Batman Beyond?
Well, that's not about Batman Beyond. That's a separate subject.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe I can see a little bit, but
listen,
he's a lot more gun fu than anything else. So yeah.
Congratulations to the person who made that fan film. I'm sure it's great.
I still haven't watched it yet.
There's the distance between a Batman Beyond fan-made film and making a real film is the distance between me and the planet Pluto right now. I mean, I just don't see it happening. Like I said, I told you though, your best bet for a Batman Beyond usually would be the crazy man that's running DC right now, and I mean crazy in a good way, to where he would be open-minded to that. But even that's probably a 30-70 proposition. So, and like I said, congratulations on the dude. I don't do fan films. I don't watch them. Not because I hate quality or the quality or anything. I am a canon guy. If I'm watching Batman, I want that to be canon. I've made like one or two exceptions, and one of them was for charity. Brad just brought it up, and another one was because I knew the person. But when it comes to fan film, I want whatever I'm watching to be carried on in canon, and fan films just aren't. I don't watch the Axanar and the Star Trek ones either because they're not canon. Now, if they ever did become canon, if the company swallowed them up and said, "Hey, this is part of our lore," then fine. Then I'll go look at them. But if they're not canon, I don't have a market for them. I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just that's a personal preference for me. Oh, once again, throwing the Joker in there helps, but I don't think it gets you any closer to getting that made.
Okay, I'll give that a look, Aaron. I'll check it out.
Okay, wherever the fuck Pluto is, that's the distance between you and the fan film. I'm telling you, it's really far away. Okay, that's what I mean.
Sci-fi center. It's not the science center.
Yeah, I have to be right. Mercury. How about that? Brad, go and watch the fan film.
Yeah,
it's great. Okay, I'm ignoring the. All right, I think we're on the edge of nonsense, so I think that's where we step away. It's been an hour and 40 minutes, much longer than I was only going to be here for 60 minutes. But all right, guys, tomorrow I don't know what's going on. I know it's going to be late, so it'll be later, 11ish. And Saturday, depending on how my schedule unfolds, if we do a Saturday night overnight live, it's going to be around 11 or so, 11:30. And it will, like I said, the main topic will be the most anticipated movies. So get your list ready. Science fiction, horror, fantasy.
Oh, so like our most anticipated?
No. What's up?
Our most anticipated?
Oh, be mine and yours. And then we'll probably, we'll let the chat put in their list.
Okay, so I was thinking it's like that, is IMDb or the Fandango, or wherever those polls are. That.
Nah, I don't care about those people.
Okay.
Like I said, I got mine. All right, you already know I'm going to give you number one. It's Fantastic Four, but the ones in between might surprise you. And Superman is number 7 on my list of 10. So, wait, super chats missed from before. No. Fourth is full of shit. We didn't miss any.
When we got yours up above, asking us to do a Batman rapid watch party.
Yeah, well, now I mean, you gave me a super chat. Okay, thank you for the support, Larry. But no, we didn't miss any super chats. When they pop up on our screen, they just pop up, and we have to go find them sometimes. So we have another screen that are starred. But no, I can see right now we got every super chat. We answered every super chat. I don't miss super chats. We might not answer them immediately as they pop up, but a lot of times I'm reading something else as they pop up, and then we'll go to the super chats. Because unlike some of your guys' other chats, the super chats are on a starred screen that we can always go back to, and we can auto start them, so we don't miss. I don't miss super chats. I don't get enough of them. I'm not like Campia to where I'm like I can miss one and not hurt, but no, we get them all. Fourth, yeah. It's this time of night. Don't listen to Fourth. All right, guys. Keep an eye on the notification bell. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the memberships, and thank you for the overall watching and supporting. If you're on Twitter right now, right below us, youtube.com/@the-Sci-Fi Center. Come on over to the mothership. Like I said,
oh, William, you're gonna love this.
What? Forget you ever saw it.
I'll fill you in sometime.
Yeah, off screen. Brad will send you a message or something. I don't know. Okay, I am so sorry to hear that, Aaron. I hope things get better for you.
Don't be picking on my baby, sis.
And that's still creepy, by the way. Now I'm affirmed in how creepy that is. I'm not the only one. It's creepy.
Aaron, I got your back. It's like it is officially voted as like the 7th best Star Trek movie.
All right, guys. It's not getting any better. So I will see you tomorrow night, maybe, but for sure on Saturday. Just don't know when. We'll resume our watch parties in 2 weeks. All right. Have a good night. Take care of each other.